Hey, we ran out of music. Welcome to The System Is Down. This is the place where we talk about the things that you don't like. And we trigger the panties and wad the feathers. Yeah, we're going to kick off this live stream here in just a minute. We've got Travis in here, but we'll talk to him in a moment. Let's go ahead and we'll talk about a couple of our sponsors while some people trickle in. Today's episode is sponsored, of course, by Free Ounce of Kratom at My Brave Botanicals. My Brave Botanicals, you can get your Delta 8 THC, you can get your Kratom, you can get your colloidal silver, you can get your vitamins, your minerals, and all those fun things. And John Bush is an awesome dude, so go support him and support this show at the same time. John Bush is he's a bit of a conspiracy guy himself. I've been meaning to have him back on to talk about some conspiracies, but he is the runner of Brave Botanicals. So you can try Kratom, you can get all those things. Enter the promo code TSID for 5% off your entire order at Free Ounce of Kratom or mybravebotanicals.com. We also have, what else do we have? Oh, we've got The Royal Green. Jack Casey's book, The Royal Green. Travis laughs every time I say it because he knows this is not going to go well because I still have not read the book, The Royal Green, but Jack Casey is cool. Just like John Bush is. So support these guys, even if you're not a reader like myself. Just go support them, throw them some bucks because they're putting in the work, and they're both doing awesome work for liberty and for the cause of liberty. And you know, support them because they have the balls to support shows like this one. Today's episode is also sponsored by, where is it? This is the new shirt in the systemisdown.tv store. Check it out. It's the I Hate New York shirt with the heart flipped upside down, taking a shit that is also wearing a mask just like the heart, holding a vaccine passport, and an American flag getting an injection in his ass. If you would like to show your support for New York and the struggle that they're going through by removing Cuomo right now, which we're going to talk about in a minute, do so. I don't know how this supports them, but show your I don't know, your moral support by sporting this very classy, very trendy new shirt. You can get that at thesystemisdown.tv in the store. And that's enough of those. We'll kick off this intro and then we'll get rolling here. We are live, so if you have comments, drop them in the comments on the YouTube. I am not a fan of YouTube because YouTube hates me, but I will take a look at your comments if they are there. If you're watching this somewhere else, if you're watching on like Facebook or Twitter or something like that, I'm not going to be checking the comments there, so if you want us to acknowledge any of your comments, drop them in the YouTube below, and I should be able to see them. Alright, let's kick this intro and we'll get things rolling. Travis, are you ready?
I am ready.
You're not ready. You're texting.
You were talking.
Let's get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he really means that.
What I call activist support.
I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves or possesses weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth! I remember that with that smoke! We are still here!
We have to say yes to social justice.
No. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It is a big club, and you are not in it. Welcome back to the least comfortable show on the web and the least trusted name in news. It is The System Is Down. You can call it the anti-news. You can call it conspiracy stuff. You can call it libertarian stuff. You can call it Christian-y stuff. I don't even know what we are anymore, but we talk about conspiracies, politics, religion, all the things that your family prays you don't bring up around the Thanksgiving dinner table, and kill the music. Hi guys. Welcome back. I gotta. Well, we've got a million things to talk about, so I shouldn't waste too much time here. But I do have to, of course, give the biggest and most important shout out to y'all in the Downers Club. People like Pavlok, Chancerado, Brian Johnson, Anthony Peebles, Carolina B, Lincoln Stack, Jack Casey, Rick Duran, Javari, Andrew Sitchling, Mark Clare, Ryan Martinson, Davis Johnson, We Are Libertarians, Stephen Hartman, John Odermatt, Tim Brown, Aaron Stute, Howie Snowden. I've got some of them, like certain chunks of them, I've got them memorized, so once I get to that point, I'm like, okay, I'll just keep going because I know the order that they're in. I'm going to take the time and sit down and just memorize this entire list. If you want to make that job harder for me, then go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down. You'll get not only your name on that list, but you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content, bonus episodes of the show every single week, including our after parties, including our movie and TV reviews, including game shows and just random behind-the-scenes shit. Us talking about things that we're not allowed to talk about in the public. So if you want all that stuff, go join the Downers Club and help this show keep growing and getting bigger and better and more beautiful every single week at patreon.com/The System Is Down. No, not that. This. Okay. I did a reset on my Stream Deck, or I did an update, and it reset everything. So all my buttons are in the wrong order, and I had to scramble to get them working. But I am here in the studio that has yet to be named, and I'm going to name it one of these days, with, of course, the one and only Travis Harms. Travis, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me back again.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Is there anything in the world that you want to discuss today, Travis?
You know, honestly, I've not done my research or any homework today to figure out what's going on.
Today or ever.
Ever. I think my point of this is to come in completely blindsided and just go with it.
Because
that's what pretty much
let it happen to you.
Exactly. That's the average person anyway, right?
Yes. Travis is the normie correspondent. He speaks for the normies who don't pay attention to these things and are probably better off for it. But you're here because you want to know about these things, and you want to know about, things like squabbles on Twitter, which we're going to start out with because I got in some heat yesterday, apparently, for a meme that was up there at the beginning, which won't make any sense at all to Travis.
Nope.
But got some threats of legal action against me for making a meme and putting some guy's face on another guy's head.
That's really silly.
That's the libertarian way. The people who think we need less government overreach are like, hey, you memed me, so I'm going to take legal action with the government against you. Yep.
Who was this person that reached out to you?
I am not going to say. They didn't so much reach out to me as they did screech and scream on my Twitter thread. I'm not going to share the name because I don't care. I don't even know who this person is.
Okay.
I know that he is in cahoots with some people who like to go around calling other people Nazis. And
okay.
I don't know if he personally has, but he's on the side of call people Nazis, it seems, from the little bit that I've witnessed about him. But this meme, I'll bring it up here so y'all can see it. This meme I put out yesterday, I debated whether or not I should, but Travis, I'll explain this to you, and I know that there are even some libertarians who don't know what the hell this meme means, but for the ones that get it, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. So the people on top are libertarians, quote unquote. Some of them don't label themselves as libertarians anymore because they've recently left the party. I'm not sure which all ones, but there's some rifts in the party, and they say that they left because of bigotry. They actually left, it seems, because they were involved in corruption of stealing information from local state parties in New Hampshire. But they left and they said, we're leaving because you're all Nazis. So they're calling people Nazis, and the people on the bottom are people like Dave Smith, Spike Cohen, Robbie Bernstein, Murray Rothbard, and Ludwig von Mises, who all happen to be Jewish, and they are the ones who these people keep calling Nazis. So I just took the faces of the people that are saying others are Nazis, put them on the faces of the white supremacists marching in Charlottesville, they were chanting, "The Jews will not replace us." I hear that's what they were chanting. Wow. And I put, "The bigots will not replace us." So it's a very inside baseball libertarian meme, but it's blowing up right now on Twitter. And one of the people in the top there, I'm not going to say which one, is saying that he's going to take legal action against me for a meme, and that's cute.
What law did you break?
He said defamation.
Oh,
defamation.
Okay.
Because I'm harming his business, his political career, and his family with this meme.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't even know it. So, I mean,
You're like, I don't even know what this meme means, so I'm not sure if I want to take a side here.
crazy. Well, did you sign a thing saying that you're not allowed to do that or something?
No, that's not a thing.
Well, exactly.
No, yeah, it defamation of character. So the funny thing is that guy, he tagged another person whose face I used in the top. He tagged them in it and said the defamation thing, like we should press legal charges against this guy. And the other guy is the former chairman of the Libertarian Party, and he is a lawyer.
Oh,
so
fun.
Yeah, so that happened. And the lawyer, though, which a lot of people in the party don't seem to be a big fan of, he's a lawyer, car salesman, politician. What's that tell you about him?
A jack of all trades.
A jack of all corruptions. So he commented on it, and much to his credit, actually, he had a reasonable response. Let me find it here. So the first guy said, I'm not going to show the screen share because I'm not here to defame anybody who have so much fame already, I'm sure. He said, how do you feel about a fucking defamation lawsuit? And then he tagged the lawyer in it. And the lawyer said, describe the defamation claim. And the guy said, pretty sure this one is supposed to be you. So, to be you too, which it is. His response to describe the defamation claim is, you're in this too. You should be mad too. And the lawyer said, satire and public figures are an unforgiving combination, which I have respect for him for saying that, because it sounds like he's saying, you don't have a case here. Right. You're in the public eye. You chose to be in the public eye. People are going to shitpost on you. Like, that's how this works.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Credit to, if you know him, you know him. Credit to you, sir, for taking the rational side of this, even though I did include you in the meme there. But yeah, the idea that this is harming his career, I would love to see the damages. Prove to me the damages and how it's harming your political career.
Really odd.
Or your business. Like, people are going out. I didn't even tag him in it. He is a tiny, I'm not going to say which one. He's a tiny head in there. And people that, like, customers going to his business aren't going to seek out this random meme. And if they found it, it's because he went on this screeching rage in my comments section, and they would find it because that's where his name is. His name isn't in the picture, so they wouldn't even be able to find him. If they wanted to, if somebody was going to his business, whatever it is, I can only imagine it's...
I was going to ask, what is his business?
I don't know. I have no idea. Screech RS, I don't know. If somebody was like doing just the idea that somebody is going to his business, whatever it is, and they're like, let me do some research on the guy that kind of works at a place whose name I probably don't know because I'm new here. Let's look up his name, find his alias on Twitter, and then follow that thread down to where somebody posted his face in it without using his name, and then be like, I'm not going to go. I think he works at a music shop or something like that, because he's...
Oh, okay.
I think he's in a music shop in his profile picture. If you guys want to do some sleuthing work, you can go find him pretty easily, I'm sure. But yeah, so this guy, he made that threat, and I'll read some of the responses.
Ooh, this
probably a little too inside baseball, but this is right in the wheelhouse for bad legal takes. Next one is, Mom, they're putting me into memes again. Also, if you believe libertarian memes are going to be seen by a lot of people, you are admitting under Dave it would see actual growth. I don't know what that means. Another grifter reveals himself and gets ratioed. So this guy's getting like hate on hate on hate on hate. A lot of people attacking his looks, his physical appearance, and his body mass index. That's one way I'll put it. I'm not saying those, but just know that the people in the comment section are defaming your character way more than my meme is. Somebody says, how do you feel about getting to a gym and cutting back on the portion size?
Ouch.
Next one says, how hard are you breathing right now? Sitting still and tweeting.
Jesus.
These people aren't nice.
No,
but,
they're not.
Welcome to the internet. Defamation laws are a violation of the non-aggression principle. There is no such thing as a right to a reputation in libertarianism, similarly to intellectual property. Yeah. A lot of them are just like laughing their asses off at this guy of how funny the idea that he would threaten a legal action against me because of a meme. And it's not just that. It's not just the fact that I put his face, I didn't even put his face on somebody else's head. I put his head in the picture. There isn't, like some of them, it's a face that's like basically skin grafted in N64 GoldenEye style onto a head, where it looks very odd. But his is just his head on there. So it's not even, I put him in a crowd of people who are white supremacists or something, we'll say, from Charlottesville. I don't know any of these people in this picture normally. I think Richard Spencer is one of them, but I believe the idea is they're white supremacists. Sure, I did that. I put you in that. But the point of this is not to call you a white supremacist. The point is to point out the hypocrisy, obviously, and the fact that you can't take a joke, or you don't even understand a joke enough to take it. This is I've had some people even say it's white supremacy for me to say this, or anti-Semitic for me to make this meme. It's like, the point of this is to say that you are calling a bunch of Jews Nazis. Now, if you call just a random normal white guy a white supremacist or even a Nazi, that's one thing. That's a dick move. That's a shitty move. If you're calling a Jewish person a Nazi, that's a whole different level of shitbaggery, and that's what they're doing in calling Dave Smith, Spike Cohen, and Robbie Bernstein Nazis. But you don't know who any of these people are, and that's fine.
I don't.
I would recommend everybody go look into them. But cool. That's fun. That's what my week kicked off with, and that was most of my day yesterday. Not responding to these people because they're definitely not worth my time, but just reading for the lulz as this guy, which his defamation lawsuit post has looks like 0 likes, maybe 1 like. Yeah, and like, I don't know, 50 comments or something like that. Just people tearing him apart in the comment section. So I let them handle that. I don't get into arguments. I just burn it down and walk away. So that's that. Let's talk about some news that people actually care about, Travis.
Let's do it, man. What do you have for us today?
I've got lots of things. First and foremost, did you hear about the Obama variant?
I didn't. I just found out about it by reading the tag or the title of this podcast, though.
Okay, so we'll find out together. I don't know that much about it. I just know that it's dumb. And I did read through some of the Twitter rage about it the other day. But we've got some comments here in the comments. Binomial something says applaud. Okay, please clap. Thank you. Truth Seeker, hey man, it's been a while since I've seen you. He says, hey bro, your stream is looking amazing. Thanks, man. Yours has been too, last I knew. Greetings. Exactly. Everyone needs to stop giving them attention. Yes, indeed. Okay, so I think, yep, we can put the comments up in here. You can all see them. Isn't that fancy? All right. Anyway, cool. We're talking about the Obama variant, which was trending the other day on Twitter. Oh, wait, actually, we're supposed to open with the good news, which is Cuomo excited about the Obama variant. I'm more excited about Cuomo, but you don't know who that is either. So
I don't.
Yeah. All right. So here's this. This is New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announces resignation amid harassment claims. Now, do you remember the guy? And I know that you don't know who it is just because we talked about it before the show. I'm not like accusing you of being dumb, just so people know. But do you remember the guy that we talked about, the governor of New York, who locked a bunch of sick COVID patients into nursing homes and killed, I don't know, like 15,000 elderly folks?
I do remember that. I remember talking about that now. Yes.
Yeah. Now he's finally resigning because a bunch of people were calling for his resignation. Do you know why they were calling for his resignation?
I mean, wasn't he just killing old people?
So?
Oh, okay. Well, I figured that'd be
now, if I told you he sexually harassed some people.
Oh, okay. That's a big thing.
That's where I draw the line.
That's worse.
I mean, kill 15,000 elderly. it's
But if you touch
it's
them
a
inappropriately.
Tuesday, but you touch a woman, you're going down, bro. And he should absolutely go down for this. I don't care what he goes down for. So if he's going down for this, great. But nobody's talking about the all the grandmas that he straight killed on his own, almost with his own two hands. We're going to go with the hashtag #MeToo cancellation, and so be it. If that's the route we have to go to keep this man from killing anymore or groping anymore, then great.
Time to go, bud.
That's right. So we're going to watch just a clip of his resignation, and we're just going to sit back and chill and enjoy that another one is fallen, one down, and 49 to go.
This situation, by its current trajectory, will generate months of political and legal controversy. That is what is going to happen. That is how the political wind is blowing.
Yeah, you mean like when you tried impeaching Biden a second time when he was out of office and you just drug that out? Yes. Most politics are a complete waste of time. That is where this is going. Also, I love the sign language interpreters.
Yeah.
They're always the best because it always seems like they're making fun of them. Like if they say something harsh, they're like, they start making faces, shit. So I'm going to be watching that because it's easier to look at.
Doom government. It will cost taxpayers millions of dollars. It will brutalize people.
Brutalize people.
He's a.
I mean, that joke just writes itself. You killed 15,000 old people, but yeah.
The State Assembly yesterday outlined weeks of process that will then lead to months of litigation. Time and money that government should spend managing COVID.
He just talks like a mob boss.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of enjoy him talking. I like how it sounds. It's very relaxing.
You come to my daughter telling me that I can't be squeezing her boobs no more? Is that what you're telling me?
Go a little bit slower, though.
Yeah. We're gonna whack you and your little dog, too.
Guarding against the Delta variant, reopening upstate, fighting gun violence, and saving New York City. All that time would be wasted.
Now, is it politics that makes a person bad, or is it only bad people that get into politics? The chicken or the egg?
You know, that's a good question. That's something I could not answer, but I feel like politics are always like the bad guy, no matter who you are.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to rule over other people, I find it hard to believe that most people have good intentions. I know that there are some that do want to lead for the sake of helping people, and they have good intentions, but I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think mostly bad people get into politics, and the system has a way of corrupting people even further. But let me ask you another question. Do you think this guy was corrupt before he got into politics?
Dude.
Look at him.
He looks like a villain from a movie. Like,
yeah.
For sure.
I want to see Willem Dafoe play Andrew Cuomo in the next Spider-Man movie as the bad guy.
This is one of the most challenging times for government in a generation. Government really needs to function today.
Agreed.
Government
Actually, no. I would prefer it not function at all and just go away. But yeah, I agree with you. But when people who are corrupt and who are leaving power because of their corruption are telling you the government needs to do this, the government needs to do that, like their opinion matters at this point. You're
done now,
resigning
buddy.
in shame. And on your way out, you're going to try and give us advice?
Right.
Fuck off.
Perform. It is a matter of life and death, government operations. And wasting energy on distractions is the
See,
it's the sign language guy, distractions. Let's go back and watch that.
a matter of life and death, government operations.
Watch
and
the distractions.
Wasting energy on distractions.
Oh, where am I?
Is the last thing that state government should be doing. And
I can't even hear Cuomo when I'm watching this. When I'm watching the sign language guy. What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I was just laughing about how
it's pretty great.
Be the cause of that. New York tough means New York loving.
That sounds like something an Italian mob boss would come up with for a slogan. Yeah. New York tough. Don't come around these parts. Capiche?
Where's this guy from? Is he actually born?
He's clearly Italian.
Okay.
Clearly he's Italian, yeah, I would say. Maybe that's racist.
Or Bronx. He's just a Bronx type guy, you know?
Is
he actually from New York?
Yeah, probably, but he's definitely got Italian heritage. But I'm not saying all Italians are mob bosses.
I mean, but most.
Every Italian I've ever met is a mob boss. And every mob boss I've ever met, okay, not all Italians are mob bosses, but all mob bosses are definitely Italian, except for Joe Biden.
Of you. And everything I have ever done has been motivated by that love.
When I grabbed her boobs, it was motivated by love. When I slapped her on the ass, that was just love, baby.
Would never want to be unhelpful in any way. And I think that given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do. Because I work for you. And doing the right thing is doing the right thing for you. Because as we say, it's not about me. It's about we. Kathy Hope.
These are all just like bumper sticker slogans.
Maybe.
Let government do government business. Get back to work. It's not about me. It's about we. When I work for you.
My lieutenant governor is smart and competent. This transition must be seamless. We have a lot going on. I'm very worried about the Delta variant, and so should you be.
So should you be if Governor Cuomo stays in office.
No.
You always seem like you have something to say.
No, I don't know. Again, this Delta variant thing, again, every time I hear about it, but I don't see anything about it. But again, I stay out of the loop, so I could be wrong.
No, there's really not much to say. It's more.
Just more stuff going on.
It's more. And that's how they're justifying, hey, you've been vaxxed 25 times. Keep it going. Get your daily vax and quadruple mask up, but indoors and outdoors. And
stay 6 feet apart.
Torture your children by limiting their breathing abilities when they go to school.
But she can come up to speed quickly, and my resignation will be effective in 14 days.
Who's taking over?
Oh, I don't know.
She said she, so I assume.
I don't know. But yay, there's that. I didn't actually mean to hit that button, but it worked out. So he's gone, or he's leaving in 14 days, 13 days, something like that, which is great. Travis, any thoughts on Governor Murderer Cuomo, genocidal maniac Cuomo, leaving on account of his boob-grabbary?
I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen or heard this guy speak. He's very, very calming, at least, so I can see how.
Yeah, that's how you thought Joe Biden was a good dude when you started this show too.
I know.
Well, he's not yelling at me, so that's a start. The bar is set pretty low at this point. Let me blow these comments up so I can actually read them.
Yeah, there's some.
Everyone needs to. I already read that. Ooh, says Tim Brown. Thank you, Tim Brown, for that. Well-worded comment. There's some emojis in there that I am not able to see, as you can see. So it is. I have no idea what you're saying. Bay County, Florida, Panama City area is seeing major corruption with the city elected officials and private companies. Feds have been taking them down one by one, and people swear all involved are good people. Yes. Spicy gabagool. Thank you, Tim. And that last one was from Shannon Lee. All right, so moving right along, that's that. I don't think there's too much more to report on Cuomo at this point, but another one bites the dust, and we'll see how it goes. Now, when he says government needs to get back to doing government work, it's like that's such an arbitrary thing to say. But yes, I would prefer that government does.
Has the government ever started working, really?
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
it fails. But
it's funny how we keep doing that over these years and years.
Yep. We can't get too deep into libertarian theology rants right off the bat, Travis. We have things to talk about. But you are right. I am pretty darn anti-government myself, and I would love for government to get back to at least localizing as much as they can and throwing schmucks like this into Guantanamo Bay. Or, prison at best. The rape cages that you seem to be so fond of, Sir Mayor. So, next up on the agenda, what do we have? I guess we should... I did tease the Obama variant. Do we save that or do we talk about it now? Let's talk about it now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it now.
Tim Brown did say update your server. I don't know if you can do that, but...
Update what server?
I don't know.
Okay. Thanks, Tim. So this comes from fastcompany.com, so you know it's legit because you've definitely heard of it. Hashtag Obama variant, an unlikely target for COVID outrage emerges. So yes, we do have to talk about COVID again. I know other people are getting sick of it, probably. I am certainly getting sick of it, so I would imagine you would get sick of hearing about it, but that is... I mean, what else matters at this point? What else matters when the government is trying to force you to do medical health experiments on yourself?
Be guinea pigs.
Yeah. An unlikely target for COVID outrage emerges. Feel free to read some. I know we're getting comments. Feel free to read some if you think any are worth reading.
People are just laughing right now.
Cool. Keep the laughs. Keep the lols, bro. Or Shannon Lee. An American president... Nope. An American... My God. Hold on. Kratom.
Take a drink.
You guys want some Kratom? You can go on over to freeounceofkratom.com and get some Kratom. We'll see if it improves my reading and comprehension abilities.
Here we go. Swallow it up.
Wow. That's some good stuff. Go try it out at freeounceofkratom.com. An American president presides over a... Actually, it would help if I blow this up. Over a COVID-era celebration where many of the attendees forego masks. Outrage surrounds the entire affair aimed at the president for needlessly risking the creation of a super spreader event. So I'm not sure how that makes things better, but it's okay because he's a suave, classy black guy who
I
was
think
president.
politicians are safe with this COVID stuff.
Oh,
That's
doesn't
what it
like
is.
politicians, right?
No, they have the...
They got Lindsey Graham.
Well, they have to throw one out there to kind of,
they're like, they're going to catch on to us if none of us get it, so we'll inject you with it, It'll be a mild strain, so you can say the vaccine worked, and then you can blame anti-vaxxers for you getting it.
Right there, man. Yep. You figured it out.
Yep. We'll get to that here in a minute. No, it's not the infamous Rose Garden gathering for Amy Coney Barrett last October, which left several of its attendees infected with COVID-19, but rather Barack Obama's 60th birthday party, which has been a lightning rod for controversy over the past couple of weeks and left a new hashtag in its wake, hashtag Obama variant. Hold on, Obama variant. When the former First Lady, her first family, announced the Martha's Vineyard Bash recently, they revealed that it would be held after disease control and prevention public health protocols and include on-site testing for guests overseen by a COVID safety coordinator. Plus, the party would take place in an area currently designated by the CDC as having moderate COVID-19 community spread. Yeah, that doesn't really change anything, does it? Like if an area normally doesn't have spread because they're not having super spreader events and you get together and have a super spreader event. And now these aren't my words because I don't think that's a real thing. Okay. I don't think super spreader events are killing everyone. Okay, I'll read on because my point is about to be made here shortly. Despite all the safety measures announced alongside the party itself, conservative pundits expressed a perceived air of hypocrisy and poor role modeling in the former president holding a large bash as the Delta variant continues ramping up in America. Fox News reporter Peter Doocy asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki about the matter at a briefing last week, and the clip of it went mildly viral. That means nobody cared. Yes. Rather than assure the public of the party's safety protocol. However, the clip intensified scrutiny around the party. Eventually, the Obamas announced that they were scaling back the former president's party from a rumored 475-person guest list to only family and close friends. Am I wrong on this? Did they not have a big gathering? I don't know. Regardless. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say he only had 5 people there.
Okay.
Fine. That's good. And that's what you should do if you're the one who has been saying that you shouldn't have these big events. Now, they're saying that I've seen some people say like, the people who are pushing this Obama variant thing, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites because they're now suddenly concerned about the spread. It's like, no, We're just pointing out that you're the hypocrites for saying that this was a bad thing, and you keep doing it. And it's perfectly fine if it's classy black Obama, President Obama. I was trying to put President and Obama together. Didn't work out.
That's all right.
And I did see some people. I saw one tweet in particular that was like, it was like in response to somebody else saying or calling out the Obama variant thing, and they said, "For as long as you live, you'll never be as classy as Barack Obama." And I was like, okay, so you're saying that as long as you're a classy black guy, killing grandma is okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Obama can kill people, and I mean he proved it when he was in office. He can get away with killing people all day long. He can drone strike American citizens.
He did that?
Yeah, he did. Look into it, guys. We'll talk about it later. Look up Obama 90% someday. Just take a look. See what happens.
All right.
Yeah. So there's that. I just thought that was worth a share because it is laughably ironic that these people who are angry that this would be trending, they're still trying to blame malfunction.
It's okay.
They're still trying to blame like anti-vaxxers, like it's their fault for all this happening, and Obama can get away with it. So it's dumb. If he did scale it back to like 5 people, good for him for not being a hypocrite, but bad on him for having the plan to get 500 people together for an Obama variant super spreader in the first place. Not because I think that's a real thing, but because you've been full of shit this whole time, and if you're going to make up arbitrary rules, the first person who should have to abide by those rules is the asshole who is helping implement them and pushing them. Travis, your thoughts?
No, I agree with all that. I mean, again, me being new to this and learning about what's going on, it's interesting how things are, to be honest, man. But yeah, I didn't even know like the stuff about Obama anyway. You just mentioned some things about that, so.
I was trying to turn on the fan, and I smashed my knee into the desk on the way back, so that's fun. And I didn't hear a word you were saying because of it.
No, I was
finally had input.
It's fine. No, I didn't really have that much of input. I was just agreeing with what you were saying, and again, me learning some stuff about Obama that I didn't even know about. Yeah,
we'll talk about it another day when we have more time. But yeah, Obama, people can say that he didn't start too many wars. He had us in 7. They just weren't called wars. If we're bombing people in other countries, what do you call it? And if those call it what?
Retaliation.
But who bombed us? Exactly. Who bombed us during the Obama administration? Yeah, and there is a situation or two with American citizens, technically, who had some ties to Al Qaeda, but they were American citizens, and they didn't get a trial. He just bombed the shit out of them.
Took care of business.
That's not okay. That's not okay because, as we talked about last week, there are people, former heads of the CIA, who are saying that libertarians and people who oppose government need to be lumped in with terrorists. And Obama proved or set the precedent for if somebody is labeled a terrorist, you can literally drone strike them without a trial or without anybody knowing about it.
How do you know if they're a terrorist, though, then? You just guess? Or just go?
You arrest them. And you put them on trial.
I see. But what kind of punishment?
If I called you a terrorist.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Would you prefer to go to court and defend yourself even though you're fighting against the government, you're probably going to lose?
Or
sure. Just get bombed?
Well, to me,
personal preference.
This is really both the same. And because if I get arrested and
they're not the same. There's more chance of you surviving a court hearing and arresting, and even if that happened, it's going to go through a lengthy process. If they wanted to give you the death penalty or something, which they probably wouldn't, they probably throw you in Guantanamo Bay or something and torture you forever and ever.
Right. Yeah.
So not ideal either way, but that's kind of what you get for being a terrorist at some point. But
I feel like if I just got bombed and got it over with, that'd probably be the best way out, to be honest. Because I'm being tortured and just.
You hear that? You hear that, Biden? If you find anything on Travis, he is okay.
Just go ahead.
He chooses drone strike. Anyway, so there's that. What were we? Oh, the Obama variant. Yes. Okay, so we do have something much more not fun to talk about now. Are you ready?
I'm so ready, man.
Now, they say that you can't make jokes about certain things. They say that you can't make jokes about race or gender or stuff, woke stuff. They say that you can't make jokes about them. We prove that wrong quite often. And now what they try to say, if you do make those jokes, is that as somebody, like, they assume that we're more conservative or whatever because we make jokes about that type of thing, or we oppose the Democrats. We're not conservatives or Obama or Trump supporters or anything like that. But I am pro-life. Travis, are you pro-life? I'm curious.
I'm pro-life, yes.
Okay. So do you think abortion never? Or abortion under certain circumstances or up to certain points?
It's such a weird thing for me to really think about, honestly, because, like, I'm obviously never going to be in that situation because I am not a lady. I am, first.
But you do have 25 children, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess there's certain things that I think about that where I'm like, yeah, that would make sense. But then again, it's still taking a life is taking a life. But
so what do you think that where do you think that life starts? Is it at conception or later?
As soon as the heartbeat happens.
As soon as the heartbeat happens.
Develops. I mean, I guess that's what makes life, right? When you have a beating heart.
Well, if your heart stops, are you not a person anymore?
You are a dead soul.
All right. This is getting very scientific.
There we go.
So we are going to talk about abortion, and the reason why I said that joke thing that didn't make any sense is because we might make some jokes about this, and they will be uncomfortable if I do. I don't have any prepared, but just know that if you
down this morning,
this is a horrifying thing, and I don't like to talk about it. That doesn't mean I'm not going to joke about it. All right. So that said, you've been warned. Let's talk about, this is from Breitbart.com, so you know it's legit. Video exposes taxpayer-funded experimentation on aborted babies.
Say that again?
Video exposes taxpayer-funded, that means you're paying for, experimentation on aborted babies.
What are they experimenting with? Like a different method of killing them?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Okay.
We can just watch this video clip, actually. It's about 5 minutes long. We'll watch it on fast speed.
For some of the most barbaric experiments carried out on late-term aborted human infants. Experiments funded by the United States government. At the same time, the university sponsors the local Planned Parenthood abortion business in what looks like an illegal quid pro quo for fetal body parts. This photo from an experiment published by Pitt scientists in 2020 shows...
Hold on.
I can't really make that out.
There's a baby scalp.
Oh. The scalps of 5
months sewn onto a lab mouse.
What? That's
if you're thinking this is some Frankenstein bullshit, no, it's worse.
That's like, even though that baby scalp is like a full-grown head.
Exactly.
That's what?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Is like, if you can't draw a line to where life begins, you can keep pushing the line, and they have. At first it was like, first trimester, anything before the first trimester is fine. And then people said, okay, we'll let you do that. Then it was like, second trimester, third trimester. And now they're like, you can be born and then, or it was a governor, I don't remember which one. Was it Newsom? I don't remember. But one of the governors a while back said, he was in an interview and they were like, well, what would you do if there wasn't like the baby is to full term, basically. It's a full baby in there, just needs to pass the vaginal canal to be considered a human. That's where the magic happens, I suppose. But they asked the guy, what would you do if there was, like, the abortion failed and this baby is just there? And he said, oh, we would make the baby comfortable, then we would consult the parents and see what they want to do next.
That's kind of crazy.
So you're saying you can give birth and then debate whether or not you want to abort the baby.
That's called killing murder. That's murder.
Yes. The line is to the point of, I don't know, 6 months maybe now? I don't know.
That's insane.
Like, not really.
Okay, what's the point of this
there.
research right now? Why are they sewing a scalp on a mouse?
I'm sure it's to find out how something grows and does something, and this is the best way, is peeling scalps off of fully grown infant children and sewing them onto lab rats.
I mean, I guess if you're going to do it, make use.
No. Nope. Nope. Now,
you said there'd be jokes, so I think
utilitarian ideas of like, well, the baby's aborted anyway, so just use it. Like, how about the baby was fully born? How about you put it up for adoption? Because even if you had the argument of, I don't want to do that to my body, it's like, you did. The baby's fully born. It's grown. Take it out of you and put it up for adoption. There are plenty of people that would take your child. But of course, science is the highest bidder, so they will buy. Let's keep watching.
Babies grafted onto the backs of lab rats, growing the aborted baby's hair on the rodents. The Pittsburgh scientists describe these aborted baby scalps as full-thickness human fetal skin, cut from the heads and backs of the babies, then processed via removal of excess fat underneath the baby skin before stitching it onto the rats. How was this paid for? With a nearly $500,000 research grant from Dr. Anthony Fauci's NIAID office at the NIH.
Fauci is supporting all this?
Now, I don't know who this is and if all their claims are accurate, but I have no reason to believe that they're not, and it would not surprise me in the least. But all you need to know is that we're taking fully grown, babies, and we are experimenting on them in Kevorkian ways, in Nazi-esque ways, I would say. And Fauci's name is coming up. Why do you suppose that is?
Well,
why is our hero tied to the link to this?
I mean, man, I don't know what to even think right now.
It gets worse. This photo is from a protocol developed by another Pitt scientist.
Tim Brown said, "Trust the science, Travis."
From 5-month-old aborted babies in order to isolate massive numbers of stem cells for experimental transplantation into adults. You can see the premature baby aborted alive via labor induction under surgical.
I'm not sure if I should. Well, it is on YouTube, so I suppose we can get away with showing this on YouTube.
With the umbilical cord off to one side as the baby is cut open to harvest the liver. The Pitt scientist who invented this experiment received nearly $3 million.
Is that him?
I hope not.
Oh, Lord.
Harvest the liver. The Pitt.
Oof. Why does everybody who is a villain look like a villain? Now, this takes us back to the chicken or the egg argument. Is it because he's so fucking ugly that people made fun of him until he became a villain? Or are people or do people turn ugly when they become villains, or how does that work?
I don't know. I mean, let's say this video just makes him look like that. I mean, just to make it more suspenseful.
I mean, it's clearly something that he agreed to doing a video for. It looks like a promo video that he did for his own stuff.
Scientist who invented this experiment
yeah, I did it.
$3 million from the NIH. Third, the Good Map Project is a multi-year $1.4 million grant to the University of Pittsburgh from the NIH. The grant makes Pitt a distribution hub for aborted fetal kidneys and other fetal body parts for NIH-funded projects across the country.
Lord.
Those are just a few of the recent fetal experimentation projects at Pitt. It's been going on for decades, sometimes on babies delivered alive during later abortions. This is archival footage from the experiments filmed in the 1950s by Pitt's Dr. Davenport Hooker, who obtained live fetuses from abortions at Pitt's hospital and tested their reflexes until they died.
Oh my God.
How can you do this? Like, how can you be a doctor and go and do that?
How can you be anything and go and do that? The people that support this as though it is a health issue for the woman's health that we have to have this available.
Well,
I mean, I care very much for the women as well that have to, like, in cases of rape and incest and stuff like that. It's like, I can understand why you would feel the need to do that. And I'm sure it's not an easy decision to make, but at the same time, if you watch videos of, you know, babies this small reacting to things,
yeah, that's something
on a table,
yeah,
being poked and prodded until they die, you're going to tell me that that's a clump of cells there laying on the table with arms and legs and a heartbeat and a brain and eyes and a nose and a mouth. I don't buy it, and
yeah, man, that's something else. Like what? I mean,
it's hard to form sentences when it's this grotesque, but it is Nazi level stuff we're dealing with here, and we're going to go around calling people Nazis on Twitter because they make a racist joke when there are literal scientists experimenting on humans today, and we call that rights and health. Women's health.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Now, I could see the argument. Like I've said many times before, I think abortion is a sticky subject. And if I were faced with a decision, like if I knew definitively that my wife would die if we didn't abort the baby in the womb, I would probably choose to keep my wife just because I know her and I don't know that. And I have more of an emotional attachment to what I know than what I don't know. That's just how it goes. But that's if I knew definitively that she would die, which is like never the case.
Yeah.
It might be like 0.001% of the time. And in abortions, now this is not factual statistic, but the amount of rape and incest or like, tragic reasons to abort, the amount of people that actually go in to abort for those reasons is like almost nothing compared to the amount of people that are just going because they got knocked up and didn't practice safe sex, and they're trying to sacrifice human life on the altar of responsibility and self-gratitude, I suppose. It's creepy. And I don't know if did you hear the episode where I talked about the satanic church?
Yeah.
That was pushing for keeping the right to abort in the way that they want to because it's part of their satanic ritual.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there. Yeah. I'm not saying these people are all satanic monsters. I am saying that if you feel the need for science, even for the advancement of humankind, if you find yourself ever in a situation where you are killing a human, cutting them apart, sewing their body parts onto other animals, I don't care if it cures cancer. I don't care if it makes AIDS or COVID even go away.
Oh,
I don't care.
This is where it's heading to.
Stop. Yeah, stop doing this, please. Stop killing our children for the sake of science. Because it's the same as, are you an organ donor, Travis? If you don't want to say on air, that's fine. But
I haven't been for long, but I think recently I chose to be an organ donor because
yeah, I was, and I still might be, but I had never thought about it this way. I heard it put this way recently. Like, do you think if you are an organ donor, if you get in a car accident, do you think they're more likely or less likely to resuscitate you? Like if they could save you,
I don't think
but they could also get those sweet, juicy organs that go for millions of dollars on the market.
Well, in my opinion, I think when you're in that situation, if someone's like, in bad shape, like I don't think they would think, hey, what if this guy's an organ donor? Should we let him live? Or
well, they look at your driver's license, and if they see that you're an organ donor, they're like, let's get to harvesting, bro. People, you got to get these kidneys places.
Do they really do that? Like that quick?
I don't know, but I'm gonna say yes. No, I'm not saying that I don't know, EMT people are monsters and will harvest your organs, but I am saying, do you think if there was a financial benefit, let's say you get in a car accident and I'm there as the doctor and I know that I'm going to get, let's say, $5 million for all your sweet, juicy organs, and I'm like, well, he's pretty beat up. I could probably bring him back. It's going to be a lot of work, and I'm going to lose $50 million. Do you think I'm more or less likely to bring you back? And I don't know you. We've never met before. You're a stranger to me.
Yeah, it's probably going to go ahead and take my organs.
I'm not saying be paranoid, but just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
Ooh, that's a good point. Shannon made a... I don't know if you've been reading the comments.
I haven't. Feel free to point them out to me. Society cares more about animal cruelty than babies. That the one?
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think she's got a point there.
It's true. We've got PETA, who goes around kidnapping animals, and, well, they do kill them eventually, because that's what PETA does. They euthanize all their animals eventually. But, yeah, we have people who care very strongly, and I know people personally, who will tell you all about how you shouldn't go to breeders for dogs because that's inhumane, but they're okay with abortion.
Yep. What happens when an animal gets pregnant? What do we do?
As long as they are less than 6 months old, you can shoot them in the face, just like humans.
Is that a true thing?
No.
What? Okay.
The fact that you have to ask.
Well, you never know anymore.
Shows where we're at here. But yes, people do care far more about animals than they do. They care far more about their fur babies than their, babies.
It's kind of messed up. No, you're saying about how your wife, say her wife is going to have a baby, and it's pretty much...
She's not.
Well... about a 98% chance of her dying.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys got to make an agreement. Like, okay, obviously you're going to be like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't carry this. Maybe we shouldn't keep it. But like, what mental issues are you going to go through together, or even more on her side because she was going to carry it? Is that going to affect her?
Yeah.
The rest of the life? Like,
absolutely.
So like, there's no win-win there, to be honest.
No, there isn't. Well, your wife dying isn't a win either.
Right.
Well. No, assuming that you're having to make this completely hypothetical and completely fabricated decision up, yeah, it's like the trauma that you're going to go through either way of your wife dying or your child dying is there. And so either way, in that situation, I think it could, like, you could make the argument that it is justified. If you knew definitively that one of these two people has to die, you could make the argument that it is okay because one of them is going to die. So which one it is, I guess you're taking nature into your own hands at that point, and you're playing God by choosing which one dies. So that might not be the best thing, but I don't know. It's a tough one. That
you say playing God, so that's another thing too. Like, I always thought about if that were to happen. Like, obviously, I don't know. I've never had an experience where God came down and talked to me straight to my face and said, "This is what you should do." I don't know if that's a thing or not.
Are you gonna go? You're gonna really side tangent this thing?
Well, no.
Speaking of God, let's talk about God. You think that he's real? You think that God's real? Just kidding. What were you saying?
But again, like, you're playing God. Like, if she were to be, maybe this kid needs to be born. Like, that's the whole point. Like,
yeah,
who gets to choose?
I'm not
that?
saying my decision would be the right decision. I'm just saying it would be almost impossible for me to make the right decision if the right decision is to let my wife die instead of a baby that I haven't met yet.
Well, isn't the decision already made when she got pregnant? Like, if this baby's going to kill her, maybe it's time for her to go, and then the baby needs to be
I'm not saying I'm making the right decision.
Okay.
I could be a monster for it.
Okay,
I'm just saying, realistically, I would have a really hard time making that call, and there's a very good chance I would make the wrong decision and be a monster for it. I'm just being honest.
This is a
being real,
shitty situation for anybody.
Yeah. And thankfully, it happens to almost no one. So stop getting abortions, folks. All right. So we were talking about this, and I don't know how much of this video we need to watch or how awful it's going to get.
Legislature that she saw live fetuses from abortions being packed in ice and shipped off for experimentation at the university. Fetal research projects at Pitt generally obtain fetal tissue through the University of Pittsburgh.
So, yeah, I brought up the, do you think they're more likely to resuscitate you if you are an organ donor? It's the same thing for this. If a baby is, you know, going to be, I guess, abortion, they're going to kill it either way, whether it's inside or outside of the womb, apparently. But, you know, in these situations where we normalize the experimentation on fetuses, do you think it's more or less likely for them to have the baby's best interest in mind in the situation? Like, even if they're going to kill the baby, are they going to do it fast, or are they going to take it out and poke around at it for a while and then rip its skin off and then feed it to the cat?
Yeah, that's...
They...
I'm glad I'm not in the position to make decisions like this, like, in the world, because, like,
it's a real easy decision to make.
Well, yeah,
don't do it.
It's either don't do it, but, like,
that's it.
If people are in a situation where they got raped and
yes, that sucks.
Sucks for that. I mean, I know you should probably just carry the child, but again, what about if?
And I'm not saying I would be able to. If I was that woman in that situation, I'm not saying I would be able to make the right decision then either.
Yeah, it's all
that would be tough. That would be
messy.
Very hard. But you know, if somebody chops my arm off, I don't get to. I don't know. I can't necessarily. I'm damaged forever, and my life is completely changed forever at that point.
Yeah.
If somebody rapes you and you have a child, that would be awful, and you might bear some resentment for the kid because of it, so maybe you should put him up for adoption, but I still say you should be bringing the child to term and putting him up for adoption, because it's not the child's fault that that you let that happen to you.
But
I'm joking, guys. He didn't catch it, but I'm joking.
Well,
I said that you let that happen to you as a rape victim.
God, what was I gonna say?
And you're just not even gonna give me anything on this.
No,
That's cool.
I'll let you stand there.
Fair. I asked for it.
It's all right.
So what were you gonna say?
I forgot now. I was thinking it. I guess when you bring up rapists, I mean, really the only way around all of that is to stop rapists and stop people doing bad shit to people.
Yes.
So if we did that, you don't have to be in a predicament or a situation.
Everyone except rapists are opposed to rape. I promise. Probably even some rapists are opposed to rape.
But is raping, is that a mental thing? Is that a thing that people get off on? I mean, I don't know. That's another thing that you would have to think about too. Like,
maybe we should legalize sex work and make it easier for these dorks to get laid. Just a thought.
Maybe.
Prostitution.
Is that what it takes to stop?
I think it would help. I think I think there would be fewer rapes inside and outside of the sex work industry. Because, like, a prostitute, if she gets raped now, not consensually, obviously, because rape isn't consensual, but if she got raped, she doesn't want to go to the cops because then she has to say, I'm a prostitute, and then she'll get arrested for it. If that was legalized and consenting adults could make these exchanges, it would be safer for the women. I think that there would be far less rapes, and if they were raped, they could go report it, and they wouldn't have to be raped because guys could afford it. Guys could buy it.
What about Hobo Joe that has no job, no money, and lives on the streets?
Well, fuck Hobo Joe, man. And I don't mean like screw Hobo Joe. I mean you personally. Go fuck him if you feel so bad for him, Travis.
I see. Well, what about if he has
nobody deserves sex? You got to earn that stuff. Anything else?
No, right.
Do you think that we've exhausted that topic?
That's pretty good.
Okay. Let's talk about abortions more.
From local abortion providers. 2 years ago, sources told CMP that Pittsburgh was one of the major hubs of the FBI's investigation of Planned Parenthood's involvement in the human trafficking of aborted fetuses. This isn't surprising, because CMP undercover investigators were told previously by Planned Parenthood Western Pennsylvania abortion doctors who were on staff at Pitt that they supply the university's tissue bank.
All right, we're not going to watch all this. You get the point. There's monsters in the world, and they're taking babies. And if you're losing your baby and you don't want to, I don't know. It just seems like the incentivizing harvesting children that are unborn, quote unquote, and sometimes born. We're incentivizing that in the name of science. We're sacrificing humans in the name of science. This is a religion. This is scientism. It is satanic, whether you believe in God or not. This is some creepy ass shit here. Where we are to the point where you get rewarded for the amount of babies you kill. That's where we're at. Again, even if we're rewarded with the COVID vaccine that works, I still don't approve, no matter how amazing that would obviously be for society. What's this other one here? I think I have another one on this topic. Yes. Oh, so we can take the racism route here. Government-funded researchers sought aborted minorities for organ harvesting. So now they're seeking out specifically minority people, black, brown, colored people.
Why not? Non-white.
And do you know where? So Planned Parenthood pretends like they are just helping women out. They're helping them get contraceptives. They're helping them get pap smears and breast examinations and stuff like that. They say, which they don't do most of those things. I had a Planned Parenthood, somebody who used to be a director at Planned Parenthood on a couple years ago, Abby Johnson. She said they don't do most of those things that they claim to do. They say that they're like providing condoms and this type of thing, like tests and screenings and stuff. They don't do most of those. A lot of them don't even have the tools and training to do those types of things. They are an abortion company that makes money and profit off of abortion, period. And do you know where most Planned Parenthood facilities are erected? The
in the ghetto?
Most common place? Yeah, it's in poor neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's where their clientele's at.
Did you know that? Man, I don't remember her name offhand, but the lady who founded Planned Parenthood said that we can use this to reduce the minority population in America.
Wow. I did not.
That's not a direct quote, but it was very racist about decreasing the amount of black people in our country. So let that sink in as we read this next one, that a company that makes money off of killing children is focusing on black people and has a history of racism and keeps making it really easier and easier and easier for minorities to opt into giving them their child to kill. So taxpayers shell out nearly $3 million to build organ pipeline at University of Pittsburgh. This is the same. This is along the same lines, but I think they're focusing more on the minority stuff. The federal government gave at least. Oh, and do you remember Joe Biden when he was like, "Yeah, I understand why black people wouldn't trust the vaccine because we experimented on them like guinea pigs in the past and blah blah blah."
I do remember that.
Like the people who are all about the institutional racism stuff. They're focusing on like, oh, you made a bad joke or a bad tweet. They're not focusing on their government literally focusing their efforts on reducing the amount of black people in ghettos and then opting to experiment on them and pump them with vaccines that they were used as guinea pigs on in the past. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy here against black folks, but if there's institutional racism, I'd say it's this. The federal government gave at least $2.7 million in taxpayer money to researchers who sought out minority babies who had been aborted in order to harvest their organs, according to internal documents released Tuesday. The University of Pittsburgh targeted minorities in its request for infant organs, including those taken from full-term minorities, and specified that 25% must come from black women. Why? Why do you get to decide, and how do we meet these quotas? Exactly. You have to get, we need more black babies, yo. We need more black babies up in here. We can't just be cutting open some boring old cracker-ass honky baby. You know what I'm saying? The Pittsburgh metropolitan area is 85% white and 8% black. Researchers stressed the importance of maintaining organ blood flow in the request, which watchdogs say could violate federal law by asking doctors to illegally preserve organs during labor-inducing abortions. So, maintaining organ blood flow, meaning essentially keep the baby alive until it gets to us so we can take care of it. Yeah. What is the line? I say let's move the goalpost even further. Let's move it up to, what do you think, 5 years old? 10 years old?
To kill them?
I'd say at least 16 before they're tolerable. What do you think?
I mean, honestly.
I mean, why stop at they're laying on a table crying? It's obviously still a clump of cells. And have you seen 14-year-olds?
Not yet.
They're barely more than a clump of cells. So
that sounds right to me. Go ahead and just take their life.
And I mean, lots of people say, it's wrong when the baby is viable. Like when the baby is able to live outside of the womb, then it becomes wrong. That's when they are officially a human life. But I know some 12-year-olds who can't live on their own outside of the womb. So where does this end? I know some 30-year-olds who seem to be struggling. One of them is threatening a lawsuit against me for a meme, for fuck's sake. So yes, I'm turning more pro-abortion as the day goes on.
Another clue.
The National Institutes of Health has overseen experiments on federal organs at the University of Pittsburgh since 2015 in what the school claimed to be a tissue hub. After aborted babies used in this research ranged from 6 to 42 weeks of gestation. 42 weeks. How many months is that?
That's at least 2.5.
2?
Oh, I'm sorry, months. I'm thinking months.
42 weeks. I don't know. Do math. Whatever. According to government documents, the grant request from the university to the government agency redacts key information, including how many fetuses were obtained and who provided them. Its language, however, raised troubling questions. Okay.
9 months. Duh, dude.
What? So it's 9 months, full term.
Yeah.
So, newly conceived to that canal, that portal, that window into humanhood. That's what the vagina is. It's a portal into the real world. Until you pass through that, you're just a clump of cells. But as soon as you're out, unless we feel like it, you don't count. Now, the other question is, if you murder a woman who is pregnant, is that considered one murder or two murders legally?
Probably in today's world, probably just one.
No, it's two.
It should. Oh, it should be.
Now, does that make sense?
No. Not if we don't stick to the same thing during abortion. It's like,
yeah. I'm not saying I want it to not be considered two. That one didn't go down right.
Definitely needs to be two.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm in favor of lessening that, but you know, I say we go all around.
Crazy.
You know, or maybe we have a court hearing. Tell us why you need to abort this child, and then have a jury of your peers determine whether that's good enough. I know that seems very anti-libertarian,
yeah.
but they don't necessarily decide. But maybe they can give you information and try and talk you out of it.
So therapy.
And if it is murder, which I do think in most circumstances, if not all circumstances, it is.
Raise my hand.
Then they should. If it is murder, then yeah, they should be able to put you on trial to allow or not allow you to murder somebody. That's not too irrational, I would say.
So like a murderer, if I want to kill someone, should I go talk to someone therapy-wise before I kill them, see if they can talk me out of it?
Yes. Because you shouldn't kill anybody, Travis, and you shouldn't have that urge. Are you asking me right now if I condone you murdering someone, Travis?
I'm glad I came today.
You really helped me out here. My future has taken a dramatic shift.
I mean, if you had the chance to kill someone and you know you can get away with it, would you do it?
No.
Okay. Some people I would say yeah.
I mean, what's the circumstance? Like just a random person just for the jollies of it?
Anybody you want. And you just knew you could get away with it.
If it was like a monster, like if it was like Dexter where you're like killing other people who are like killing people or doing terrible things, or like Saw was in a couple of their movies right. Until those went off the rails. Have you watched the new one yet?
I haven't yet.
We need to watch that together.
Yes, we do.
For those that don't know, Travis and I used to do mandates to every Saw premiere, but neither of us have watched the new one. But so you're saying, would I kill somebody if it was something like that, where it was like they probably I had evidence that they deserve to die anyway? Maybe. I still probably wouldn't, because I don't know if I could live with myself even for killing a murderer unless I witnessed it. I don't think I'd have a problem, like if I saw somebody killing somebody, I don't think I'd have a problem with killing them. It would probably traumatize me for the rest of my life, but I think I'd be able to handle it.
Fair.
So,
I'm curious.
Yeah, the experiments with aborted infants at the University of Pittsburgh, sponsored by the NIH, are like Kermit Gosnell's House of Horrors, but this time funded by the federal government. Dandelion, or Dandelion is his name, or her name now, told the Washington Free Beacon it was systemic bias and abortion extremism that permitted Gosnell to evade the law for so long, and the same thing is happening in Pittsburgh. These atrocities deserve the full response of law enforcement and government officials. Law enforcement should put a stop to it and arrest the perpetrators. So, yes. I think we can. I don't think we need to spend too much more time on that one, but I don't know. It's horrific. It's horrifying. These people should be in prison at best for doing this, and there's a part of me that understands your line of argument at the beginning of this conversation where you said, well, if it's dead anyway, why not? But it's a bad precedent to set when you're incentivizing the more dead babies, the better for us. So maybe you can save it. Maybe you could just not plug the machine in this time that saves the baby. I don't know. You know?
Yeah. No.
Just going to leave it on you.
Oh.
And let you sit there in silence, because that's what you did to me earlier.
Fair, thanks.
Okay, so moving on. Oh, we do have to talk in the main episode about this before we jump into the bonus, which we'll be doing soon.
Need a potty break. I know.
Oh, Travis needs a potty break. We can't pause, so you'll have to wait till after this segment at least. But we are going to talk about old Randy Pants, Rand Paul. Did you hear this, Travis?
Ron Paul?
Rand, his son.
Oh, son. Yeah, no.
Senator Rand Paul.
What did he do now?
Well, we're going to find out together, and I'm not going to tell you because I want to get your first, your actual reaction to this.
Okay.
It's time for us to resist. They can't arrest all of us. They can't keep all of your kids home from school. They can't keep every government building closed, although I've got a long list of ones they might keep closed or might ought to keep closed.
Yes.
We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, and harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats. We can simply say no, not again.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Pelosi, you will not arrest or stop me or anyone on my staff from doing our jobs. We have either had COVID, had the vaccine, or been offered the vaccine. We will make our own health choices. We will not show you a passport. We will not wear a mask. We will not be forced into random screenings and testings so you can continue your drunk with power reign over the Capitol. President Biden, we will not accept your agency's mandates or your reported moves towards a lockdown. No one should follow the CDC's anti-science mask mandates.
Where did this guy come from?
Oh, he's been pushing against it the whole time.
So what political party is he from?
He's a Republican. His dad is Ron Paul, who
So
was
he's the same.
known libertarian. So he's like a libertarian-leaning Republican, basically.
Got you.
Yeah, and he was the one who was attacking Dr. Fauci the whole time, saying it was theater. Another thing that was going around Twitter that I saw when this came out was Rand Paul lied and he faked getting the vaccine. This is actually a clip, because I guess a clip came out of him getting the vaccine, and these people are saying, no, this isn't actually that vaccine. This is from 5 years ago when he got a such and such booster shot or something like that. And it's funny that they're using that to try and make people dislike him. And I was like,
that makes sense.
I would prefer he lie. I would rather he lie to me about getting the vaccine than get the vaccine. Now, if he did lie, which I don't even know if he said that was him getting the vaccine. But if he did lie, hypothetically, it's not great, because then he was encouraging other people to do something that he wasn't willing to do in getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. No,
but if he did lie, I'm fine with it more than I would be fine with him getting the vaccine, because he came out and he said at one point, I'm not getting the vaccine because I think that was okay. So I think him getting the vaccine, that video, I'm pretty sure that wasn't him putting it out, because I remember specifically a video where he said, I'm not going to get the vaccine because I already have immunity to this virus because I've already had COVID, and he got a bunch of shit for that because that's unscientific. But it is.
Sorry, I was laughing at a comment.
I new here, but does Travis live under a rock? Is this a bit? No. Travis's entire life could be a bit about somebody who is so ill-informed about anything that he doesn't know who Andrew Cuomo or Ron Paul or Rand Paul or Joe Biden even are before he comes here. This is the show where Travis just comes to school.
I'm learning things.
Yes, he comes here to learn. And unfortunately, he chose a real bad teacher who also doesn't know very much, but knows just a little bit more about this stuff. And I would say that people like Travis are probably, in a lot of ways, better off for it, because when you have to watch all this stuff, it does weigh you down. It does get dark and shitty, but it is good to be informed about the important things in the world. And, we have good laughs at the things that aren't important. But Rand Paul, he attacked Dr. Fauci for all this time. He made some very strong statements. Him and Thomas Massie have been like the two foremost opposers, basically the only two opposers in the Senate who were against this stuff. And just him putting out this video now, it was like, I was like moved by it. Just that the amount of strong wording that he uses. You should not listen to the CDC's mask guidelines. Not, oh well, we got, it's probably, you probably don't need it, but maybe do it if you're around this and that. It's like, no, fuck this. These people are liars. They've proven it. We've proven it over and over again. Stop believing it. We're not doing this.
And if you want to,
this video should definitely have more than 1.2 million views, though.
Oh, I'm sure it's on a bunch of other platforms where it has a lot more. And actually, oh yeah, it is him that shared it. So
shut down
it should.
federal
It
agencies
absolutely
again.
should. Here, I'll share it again right now. There, done.
Some of which aren't even back to work yet. I will stop every bill coming through the Senate with an amendment to cut their funding if they don't come back to work in person. Local bureaucrats and union bosses, we will not allow you to do more harm to our children again this year. Children are not at any more risk from COVID than they are from the seasonal flu. Every adult who works in schools has either...
That's heresy right there, brother.
Yeah, I want this guy to be our fucking leader.
He's probably going to run for president again this time around. He ran last time against Donald Trump, and it didn't go very well.
Wow, my mind is blown right now. I didn't know anybody in the political world actually thought this stuff.
Well, you should probably keep an eye on Dave Smith also, because he's a lot. He's less credible because he's not a senator. He's just some comedian, but he's talking about running, and he's way further than even I am on this stuff, as far as like being just dead on, spot on with his take on it and calling this bullshit out from the beginning. He's been amazing.
Had the vaccine or had their chance to get vaccinated, there is no reason for mask mandates, part-time schools, or any lockdown measures. Children are falling behind in school and are being harmed physically and psychologically by the tactics that you have used to keep them from the classroom during the last year. We won't allow it again. If a school system...
I'm not a big fan of public schools, so...
Yeah, figured that.
However, it's not so much about whether or not the kids can go to school. It's about whether or not the kids are able to go about their normal lives and not live in this paranoid, fearful, schizophrenic, psychotic depression that has been traumatized onto them by the government. Like, I would prefer they be in school than they be at home killing themselves, personally.
Yeah.
But I would rather they be learning not from their government than learning from their government.
Right.
So that's a conversation for another day, though.
To keep children from full-time in-person school, I will hold up every bill with 2 amendments. One to defund them, and another to allow parents the choice.
I thought about like cutting this into like this really bombastic video, like cut out the background behind him and put like explosions and sirens and stuff like every time he does a mic drop moment. I will cut every single... Wait, I have it. I will cut it. Hold on.
Where the money goes for their child's education. Do I sound fed up?
Doesn't have nearly the impact that I was going for, but you get it.
Another to allow parents the choice of where the money goes for their child's
yes,
education.
This is another very important thing. Giving parents the choice. Like, if you disagree with your local school because they are capitulating to the frickin' government because they need subsidies and they need money, like that's the main issue here. I know people in the school system who are authority figures, and they basically have their hands tied. Like, they can do what they know is right and not force these kids to wear masks or get vaccinated or that type of thing, but they will lose all their government funding. And so that basically means their school would shut down at that point. But that is part of the problem, is that the government has this monopoly on school now where they can decide everything that you learn and you have to support it. You are forced to support it. You are forced to fund it. The government is giving them your money to do this. You are paying taxes. My kids don't go to public school even, and I am paying taxes for my kids to go to public school, and they're not. They want them to not be allowed to even go to public school. Do you think that I will have to pay less taxes if my kids aren't in public school? No, you still have to pay it. It still comes out, and the teachers just sit around bitching about not wanting to go back to school. There was this situation on Twitter where a teacher was like, or the sister of a teacher was, who was, I think she was a journalist. Her sister is a teacher, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're making him go back to school. I'm so terrified for my sister." And she's like, "I don't think she knows. I don't even know if she knows how to handle this type of thing," and blah blah blah. It's like, it's just that amount of brainwashing and that amount of paranoid delusion where she thinks that her sister is going to die immediately if she steps foot in a classroom. Like, if you're a teacher, okay, if you're a teacher and you are afraid to go back to work, then don't go back to work. Right, yeah. Like, fucking ever, because you're bad and you're terrible at your job. Okay, if you think that you are in some gigantic risk of dying for going back to school, then you are not educated enough to be educating our children. So quit. Also, that journalist that posted that, immediately after she posted something about, here's her Amazon wish list, help her pay for this and that for the kids. It's like, okay, I get it. I see what's going on here. She's not scared. She just wants money because she can't afford crayons.
Do I sound fed up to you? That's because I am. I'm not a career politician. I practiced medicine for 33 years. I graduated from Duke Medical School. I've worked in emergency rooms. I've studied immunology and virology, and I ultimately chose to become an eye surgeon. I've been telling everyone for a year now that Dr. Fauci and other public health bureaucrats were not following the science, and I've been proven right time and time again. But I'm not the only one who's fed up. I can't go anywhere these days without people coming up and thanking me for standing up for them, whether I'm at work or at events in Kentucky, at airports, in restaurants, or in stores. People thank me for taking a stand. They thank me for standing up for actual science, for standing up for freedom. for standing against mandates, lockdowns, and bureaucratic power grabs. I think the tide is turning as more and more people are willing to stand up. I see stories from across the country of parents standing up to the unions and school boards. I see brave moms standing up and saying, my kids need to go back to school in person. I see members of Congress refusing to comply with petty tyrant Pelosi. We are.
Shannon asked, did you see her Amazon wish list? I didn't, but I did listen to the Tower Gang podcast where they were talking about it because they were the ones bagging on her and giving her shit. Fat Comic Dave is his Twitter handle. It's like a troll account, but he has a podcast, and he was the one giving her shit. Him and Anarcho Toad host the Tower Gang podcast, and apparently Toad went into the Amazon wish list. Man, now that I'm saying it, I'm remembering how good it is. He went into the Amazon wish list and found this vibrator in her personal list for clitoral stimulation, and he posted that. He posted a screenshot of it in the Twitter, and the people who were outraged at them for like bashing on the teacher, they immediately, like, it took 2 seconds, and the response. Do you think the response was, "Holy shit, she's got a vibrator in there," and blah blah blah?
Oh, probably not.
It was. This guy was like, well, you know, some teachers do use these types of things for kids with ADHD as like fidgets and stuff like. No.
Hey, get out of
here. No.
Yeah, those are called fidget spinners.
just the fact that they will defend idiocy, like. I don't care if she's got a vibrator in her stupid wish list, but it was obviously a joke, and he went into her personal wish list or something and found it. But the fact that they immediately jumped to defending it, like, well, maybe it does make sense. Maybe it was for the kids or something. It's like, nope. And if it was for the kids, then you have bigger things to worry about than COVID.
Wow,
if your teacher is taking, I don't know, sex toys to
I would have
teach
gone to
their
that
first graders.
School I should have been going to, the Foley sign.
Oh, man. Oh, my cat's trying to get in.
They can't arrest all of us.
I think that means it's almost done. I jumped back here. 1 second.
I see members of Congress refusing to comply with petty tyrant Pelosi. We are at a moment of truth and a crossroads. Will we allow these people to use fear and propaganda to do further harm to our society, economy, and children? Or will we stand together and say, absolutely not. Not this time.
Absolutely
I
not.
choose freedom.
It is just so, like, it's not even that bold of a stance, or it shouldn't be.
It's just how
it's just honest.
Yeah.
And it's what most of us, I think, are thinking. And just the fact that he has the balls to come out and say it,
yeah.
I applaud him very much. That shouldn't be as brave of a statement as it is, but it is in today's day and age.
It took him 3 minutes and 37 seconds to say that.
Shannon said, I was alarmed by her having padlocks in her class list.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's so odd.
Yep.
Yeah, what are you doing with those?
Yep. And no, I don't think it was photoshopped. I could be wrong, but who cares? Who cares? We can make it up. Now, Travis, how badly do you have to pee?
I'm about to explode. I'm like
all right.
saying a little prayer in my head every 5 seconds.
Please, God. That was me when I did the libertarian presidential debate with 12 presidential candidates. We were getting up to like the halfway point. I was literally about to piss my pants. I was like, do I just let this happen, or do I get up and walk out in the middle of a presidential debate that I am hosting? So we can take a little break. If you want to go ahead and go, I can keep talking for a bit. And
yes,
yeah,
I appreciate all that. All right.
Yeah, no problem. Go relieve yourself. All right, so let's see here. What else do we got? I can't talk about most of these without Travis. So let's see. We'll talk about something else real quick. If I can find my frickin' button. Oh, that's a good view. So we'll talk about this instead while we wait for Travis. Last night I was on Break the Cycle, Joshua Smith's show. He's been on my show. I've been on his show before. And it was me, Dave Casey, and Ryan Dawson. And Josh Smith, obviously. But a lot of flack came out of that as well. So my meme wasn't intended to be posted in order to rile people up in preparation for that episode on Break the Cycle. It just worked out nicely that way. Now, I came up with the idea for the meme a couple days ago and wrote it down. I was like, I even debated, should I? It's mean, but it's too good not to use. And so I put out the meme. My cat's in here now. Sure, come on up. Come on. This is the level of professionalism. He is action. He is from the display picture on the podcast and all that shit. But so I went on the Break the Cycle podcast with Ryan Dawson. I got a lot of people trying to warn me about this guy and how evil of an anti-Semite he is. I didn't know that much about the guy, so I had no reason not to believe them other than they say that about everybody, which kind of makes me want to get to know him more. But I even got a text from somebody who said that they got a text from somebody warning them. So person A, I know personally. Person B, I don't know who they are, but person B texted person A because person A is friends with me, and they were warning person A that me, person D, I guess, was going on a show with person C, which is Ryan Dawson. So that's the level of crazy. Like you're going to be warned if you're friends with somebody who's associating with somebody that you have preconceived notions about being a terrible person. Now, the allegations, like, I can understand how they came to conclusions easily from some of the clips, and he even addressed some of the clips of him saying things about certain groups of people and stuff. We addressed it, and I'm going to have him on the show too. I don't care what you people think. I'm going to have him on the show because he's not an anti-Semite. He might say things in ways that make you the most uncomfortable. Lock that door and make sure it latches. Lift it up. Yeah, he might say things that make you uncomfortable, but that doesn't make him an anti-Semite. He is opposed to Israel. The monstrous things that their government does. I think that we can all get on board with that. We'll dig into it more. If your government, even if it says in the Bible that your government is, are the ones that should be killing people and because they're the chosen people, I don't think that gives you the right to go around pillaging and plundering. Do you agree, Travis?
Absolutely.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Not really.
I think you just condemned Jews, Travis.
Oh, great.
Shit. And I didn't even have you on camera. That sucks. You want to say that again for me? Right into the camera. Just kidding. No, this guy is, he made it very clear. He's not a racist or anti-Semite. He's got issues with the government. And I see nothing wrong with that, and certainly nothing wrong with associating with that. I do, however, see a problem with associating with people who go on the attack every time somebody says something that makes them think a little bit. So... yeah, that's that. I loved the episode. It was mostly Ryan Dawson talking, obviously, because he's like the Scott Horton of conspiracy land, and he just talks and talks and talks. But it's all very fascinating, very interesting stuff. I would genuinely, if there's any haters watching right now, which there probably are, I would genuinely encourage you to go dig into some of his stuff. Don't just go looking for the dirt that you want to prove your point. Go listening to the things that he's actually talking about and the things that he's saying, because you're wrong. You're just wrong, and that's okay, because it's not too late for you to not be dumb. It's not too late. You can turn your life around and not be dumb. All right, Travis is back, so we are going to... Travis, how was your pee?
Oh, man, it was fantastic.
How fantastic was it?
Like, when I let go...
On a scale of 1 to 9/11, how good was it?
11, 12 for sure.
All right, so just continuing on with the white pilling, I just love that people are finally saying what we've been saying this whole time, which is just saying the obvious, that this is all bullshit. This is Joe Rogan talking about the same type of stuff.
Can't do what you want to do unless you do what I want you to do. I mean, Don Lemon was talking about that openly on CNN.
Yeah.
Did I miss a part?
Can't do what you want to do unless you do what I want you to do. I mean, Don Lemon was talking about that openly on CNN.
Yeah.
Don't have a vaccine? Can't go to the supermarket. Don't have a vaccine? Can't go to work. Like,
it's so strange that people want to say things like that. Like, that's the thing that blows me away. Why do people want to...
Because they're dumb.
They're dumb.
They're dumb. They don't understand history. They don't understand human beings. They don't understand human nature. They don't understand the history of every single country that's ever existed other than the United States. Up until 1776, every fucking country that has ever existed was run by dictators.
Right.
All of them. This is the first one.
That is something that we don't focus on nearly enough in school. We're just like, we've got democracy now. We're going to spread it to everyone else with bombs. We don't really talk about the fact that this is a big fucking experiment that we're living in.
Oh, yeah.
If this fails, which it will, that's just it's yeah. I mean, if we're allowing dictators to lock us in our homes at will and force us to get vaccinated and wear masks and things like that, then yeah, it has completely failed. But this entire thing is a big fucking experiment. So people clinging to democracy as though it's some moral just thing is not necessarily true. What do you think about democracy, Travis? Everybody gets a vote. Everybody has a say. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's a good cover-up for making people feel like they're involved, I guess. But in my opinion, a lot of that stuff doesn't even matter.
Do you think it's better for everybody to have a say, or should some people not have a say?
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't want to really get into that because, especially for me, coming from me, what do I have a right to say that, people like me, I don't know what's going on most of the time in the world. And
sure.
If I vote for something like you just said, like vote for Biden, like, and you look at me like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So like people like that, they're not educated and don't know what's going on. I mean, personally, yeah, their vote shouldn't matter, but in their mind and their own way, for their reasons anyway, they have a vote.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily have a cut and dry answer on this one, but what's the difference between democracy and mob rule? Everybody gets a say, no matter how stupid that say is?
No, right? That's not... I don't know. I don't know.
Like if there's an angry mob...
Oh, okay, that you mean that.
If we're just going with 51% wins in everything, what if 51% of the country hates blacks?
Yeah, that's the saying.
What if 51% of the country hates women? Or what if 51% of the country loves raping? I don't know.
Like, wasn't that how it was ran? Way back in the day? Like, women weren't even allowed to vote. Blacks weren't allowed to vote. It was just white people.
Yeah.
So, like, we're changing it, of course, by evolving, and now we're giving people more freedom to do those things. And has there been any change in our democracy, I guess?
No, we don't have slavery anymore. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I mean, I'm saying as in we've allowed more people to vote and voice their opinion on certain things. But like to me, I haven't.
Do you feel like politics have gotten smarter as we've gone?
The older I get, the more interested I am in politics, I should say. When I was young going to school, I didn't give a damn about any of that stuff. And I don't think I was the only one. I don't think looking over at my neighbor or my partner, like, hey, as I say partner, not my lover, but as it's a classmate.
Yeah.
They didn't care either at the time. Like, no one cared.
This is why I lean toward, or I push for anarchy as the end game, and however close we can get to that, great. Because I think people just, as if we had this agreement of you are in charge of you and you leave everybody else alone and you just worry about you, I don't think we need a vote. I don't think anybody needs to vote. I think that the best person will get the jobs in certain areas and things will be privatized. Maybe we have votes locally on like who gets to, like which bodies of people get to make certain decisions and stuff like that, because we can't, like, I don't know. Anarchy, baby. That's the only way. I know it's like a giant hypothetical and a pipe dream, probably, but if we push for less to no government, as little as possible, or as little of it as we can get as possible, and my brain's not working today, I don't think it's going to be a net negative. And I do think that, if we tried it, like democracy, giant experiment. So far, it's going pretty bad. Now we do have it better than people living under dictatorships. Yes, but still not good. Could be a lot better. Would you agree?
Yeah.
How about we try another experiment?
Yeah, even that would be good.
Yeah. How about we try...
Let's just keep doing the same thing.
Or just, yeah, it's insanity. How about, at the very least, how about we just section off certain areas of the country and you guys can experiment how you want over there. You can experiment however you want over there. I don't care if people want to be communists. I don't care if people want to be socialists. Just leave me the fuck out of it, because I don't agree. That's not what I choose to live my life as, and you don't have the ability to force me. And in it's like in an anarchist society where there is quote unquote no government, that just means you can make your government however you want. Just leave me the fuck out of it. That's fine. So it's the best for everybody.
You can hard though, I think.
You can turn yourself into Venezuela and completely deplete your dollar and have children starving in the street all you want. I don't prefer it for you or anybody, especially not your children, but it's up to you. Anyway.
Officials, this is the first experiment in self-government that actually worked, and it created the greatest superpower the world's ever known. It created the greatest cultural machine, the greatest machine of art and creativity and innovation right fucking here. And how did it do that? It did it through freedom. Because when you give people freedom, you let people do whatever the fuck they want to do, they actually find ways to succeed and grow and thrive. But as soon as you put the boots to them, as soon as you tell them, you have to do this or you can't do that, you have to listen to me, now you have a mini dictator. You have one step away from a king. You have a one step closer. You're moving one step closer to dictatorship. That's what the fuck is happening. That's what's going to happen with a vaccine passport. That's what's going to happen if they close borders. You can't enter New York City unless you have your papers. You can't go to here unless you have that. You can't get on a plane unless you do what I say. And people say, whoa, it's all about protecting people from the... No, it's not. It's not, because we've shown this is a fact. Just a couple of months ago, the idea of a breakthrough case was unheard of. Nobody heard of anybody catching COVID that had a vaccine, right? That was the whole idea. You get a vaccine, you don't have to worry about it. Now we know not only do you get it, but you can spread it. And some people have died. Apparently, it's a small number. I don't know what the numbers are, but I know that most people who get vaccinated, when they do have the disease, they have a better time of it than the people who are unvaccinated. But where are the people out there calling for people to get healthy? Where are the people out there calling for people to lose weight?
That is the most important thing. Like, if these people care about you and your health and that's why they're doing this because they're concerned about you, how about they tell you to work out and get in shape and get some sunlight and get some vitamin D?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if the majority of people who are suffering from this the worst are fat people,
overweight,
and, unhealthy people, people out of shape, shouldn't that be the first thing? Like, let's try that experiment first. Let's not jump straight to we need to pump experimental drugs in you. Maybe just try getting on a treadmill. That's all. See if it helps. I don't know. Now I know that it's not as easy as that. It's not super quick to turn your life around enough that it would matter for COVID and a looming pandemic. But it's not even hinted at by health officials.
Not at all.
They're not even pretending like they care about your health. They're pretending like they care about their bottom dollar and how many vaccines they can pump into people.
It's all about money.
Oh, Shannon Lee said, I was talking about the episode from last night that I was on with the guy who everybody calls a white supremacist, but he's not. She said Josh posted an email sent to the LNC complaining about how he had a neo-Nazi on the show. So, yeah, that's a bunch of inside baseball there. That is great. But apparently the show that I was on last night, somebody emailed Josh, who is the host, or they emailed the LNC, which is the Libertarian National Committee, because he's on the board of the LNC. They emailed the LNC to tell on him for having Ryan Dawson on because Ryan Dawson doesn't like when Israel blows up children. Okay, cool. Cool. Anyway, so that's that. Any thoughts on the Joe Rogan thing there, Travis?
No, I agree with what he's saying. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The other thing, I didn't know existed.
Pretty quiet today, Travis.
Did
you take your kratom this morning?
I did.
Was it that gas station shit? Where'd you get it from? MyBraveBotanicals.com. So you know it's legit.
I forget the brand that I have, actually. But it works pretty well, actually. I think it's strong. Super strong.
It's like...
I think I take more is why, though.
Circle K brand?
No, I got it at an actual head shop.
Yeah? Okay.
It's not bad. I just... mellow. The Rand Paul thing was actually really awesome to me listening to, like, someone that's in that category saying the things that, like, I've been thinking about for so long.
Even Joe Rogan, like, he's been pretty reasonable on it. I don't feel like he talks about it all that much. I don't know. I have, in fairness, I don't listen to Joe Rogan all that much since he switched to Spotify, and it's a stupid, shitty platform.
Yeah. Well,
but he hasn't been like pro-vax, like he hasn't been the crazy people who are like everybody needs to get vaccinated or else. But he is, yes, Shannon says, can't cancel Joe Rogan. He is uncancelable. He is definitely at that level. And I think that he will... I just think it is a white pill moment. It's a very refreshing moment to see people that people listen to. Not me. Nobody listens to me except Shannon and Tim. Thank you. People that people listen to, like Rand Paul and Joe Rogan, it's just so refreshing, and it shouldn't be, but it's refreshing to hear people speaking truth and just pointing out how obviously, on its face, bullshit this is. We do have to talk about one more thing before we jump over into the bonus. I did have a bunch more things to talk about, so I guess we'll save them for bonus, but we are pushing 2 hours already. So I'll just say some headlines that we're going to talk about in the after party, and then we will do, of course, our Freak of the Week segment, which is where you guys send in your submissions, and we pick one and read them, and roast them, and make jokes about them, and get banned and canceled and offensive for them. A Gulf of Tonkin incident in the Gulf of Oman. We talked about the Gulf of Tonkin incident, right, Travis?
I think so.
One of those nice false flag things where the government pretends like somebody bombed us so that we can go to war with them.
Yep.
Just for fun.
I do remember that.
That's cool. We're going to be talking about Portland sees Antifa descend on Christian worship event, clash with Proud Boys in the streets. That should be a fun, cancelable one. We've got... wait, actually, I'm going to save that one. So we're probably going to talk about that in a second. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, and we've got some talk about lynchings in Mississippi. Apparently, people are still lynching brown folk in Mississippi. If true, that's not good. Because lynching is bad. Travis, what's your take on lynching?
I don't know what lynching is. I'm about to write it and find out.
Hanging people.
Oh.
Yes.
All these fancy words. You're just saying hanging people.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that kind of come across the board a little bit more like, wow, what's going on over there? If someone just said hanging people.
You got to save it. We got to save it, yeah. Well, lynching is the term that was used more so back in the days when they did just lynch brown folks for being brown. That's where it comes from. Apparently, it is still a thing. We're going to dig into that a little bit and find out if that's true. But anyway, we do have to do... I'm just trying to choose which one. I think we're going to go with this one. So this is the everybody's favorite segment, of course. It is time for a little segment we like to call around here.
This program was made possible by viewers like you.
Hey, get what you f***ing deserve!
All your days are belong to us.
No one can stop us from enjoying this, so enjoy it! Stop crying!
That's right. That's right. It is the Freak of the Week. Shannon Lee said, Jesus, Travis.
I know.
Doesn't even know what lynching is.
I'm sorry.
That's how not racist Travis is. He doesn't even know. He's never even heard the word lynching before in his life.
No judge.
Or maybe he's playing dumb. But this is the Freak of the Week segment. That is where you guys can send in your submissions for an article that we talk about, and we will talk about it, make jokes about it, and roast it here live on The System Is Down for you. This one was submitted by I don't remember who. I should probably find out. Paul Brandenberger. Paul Brandenberger. Are you ready for this, Travis?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I'm ready.
I don't think you're ready for this.
I'm so ready. Show me.
UK poo bomber banned from defecating, urinating in public. This comes from the NewYorkPost.com. The poo bomber. She looks like a poo bomber. I think it's a she. Okay.
They.
Yes, clearly. I think it's... Do you think... What do you think she does in her off hours when she's not poo bombing? I'm saying clown. I'm saying carny clown. All the way.
Carney for sure. I can see the carney in it.
Yeah. She's a carny clown, but that's the only makeup and color she puts on.
Or a hairstylist.
She just shows up. She's like the discount clown that they hired. She shows up with a little bit more eyeshadow on and a streak of color in her hair.
Wow.
She's like, I'm a clown, kids. Yeah, kids, I'm a clown. Come on over here.
Your monitor does not do justice, but now when I look at my computer screen, I'm seeing the blue.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I would guess a clown now, too.
And the teardrop hearts there, like for everyone that she killed in prison or something.
Yep.
Nice. That's the level of journalism we do here. She was told to cut the crap. It's the first line of this. A 50-year-old British woman who poo-bombed her neighbor's property during a 25-year harassment campaign has been banned from urinating or defecating in any open spaces, which is a thing that you can apparently do in the UK because it's a shithole, I would imagine.
Normal.
So her punishment sounds like for pooping for 25 years in the same person's yard is you're no longer allowed to poop in that person's yard.
That's the punishment.
Yep.
Don't do
25 years.
Don't do that again.
It was the case of the century. She's like the serial poopist who was just going around pooping in people's yards, and they finally tracked her down.
What was the reason?
Poop. What was her reason?
Yeah.
She had to take a shit. I don't know.
There's no bathrooms in the UK.
This next sentence, femme fatale instead of femme fatale. Like fecal matter. Do you know what feces is, Travis? I'm not gonna make assumptions anymore. Amanda Lee from Crew Cheshire has what?
Shannon said so. I just pictured Kevin in Home Alone saying wolf.
Yes. Yes. Has a lengthy crap sheet of 15 convictions stretching from 1996 to 2018, including incidents of antisocial behavior. And yeah. I would say probably. I don't know. You might be more social if you're willing to go take a shit in people's yards. I would say that's the epitome of socialite.
That's a whole type of different person. Maybe doing the shit in front of someone.
That's right. I lock the door, triple lock when I go. I don't care if it's my wife or anybody. My wife doesn't care. She's like, let's have a conversation. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think women are so easily able to do that, no problem whatsoever. It seems
because
like
they don't live under the weight that men live under. It's like men have all this pressure on them from society, where they have to like feed and clothe their women. I'm just kidding, whatever. But they just want that one little release.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fail joke. Fine. Okay. Authorities also have accused Lee of repeatedly making nuisance emergency calls. Cheshire police applied for a criminal behavior order, which the Crewe Magistrates Court granted. I don't understand your UK mumbo-jumbo bullshit. I don't know what the fuck a magistrate is. I'm kidding. Travis isn't giving me anything here. Well, that's fair. The order bans her from engaging in certain behaviors, including urinating and defecating outside, possessing booze in an open container in an exclusion zone, and using abusive language, the Sun reported. So we do rag on the UK for being less free than we are, but this is leading me to believe that
this is a reason
they're more free, actually, because she made it 25 years shitting in public, and they said... And she was like harassing people and making prank calls. It sounds like prank dialing 911 or whatever the hell they have over there instead of 911. And the punishment that she gets for it is you can't poop anymore in public, and that's about it. And stop having booze in open containers, which is the thing that we're not allowed to do here at all. So. I'd say score one for you, UK, and the poop bomber. She's setting bad precedents, though. Free the anus. Let her poop wherever she wants. I don't know. If we lived in an anarchist society where there was no government, would you prefer, like if there were little territories that had different rules and stuff, would you choose to live in the one that you are allowed to poop in public in, or would you choose to live in the one that you aren't allowed to poop in public in?
I mean, honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, if you
go to San Francisco and these places that are legalizing it, I haven't been, but I hear that the streets run yellow and brown with. I
mean, didn't they used to do that back in the that's how we got the Black Plague.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just shit in the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
noble. It's noble. Even homeless people, can you just go into a gas station or something? There are bathrooms pretty readily available.
Some gas stations don't allow those guys in.
That's true. I would, if it was an emergency, I certainly don't think people should be locked up for shitting in the street. I would probably choose to live in the don't shit in the street territory, because I feel like it would probably be a nicer place to live. Yeah.
Just at least try.
Yeah, I don't think that people should be arrested for it or anything, and I definitely don't think, like, if you pee like on a street corner you get put on like the sex offenders list.
Oh yeah.
So you are on the same list as rapists.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's like,
silly.
okay, no, but maybe tell him to put his dick away and go home. But if it's an emergency and he's not showing it to somebody, whatever.
Yeah.
Let the man poop or pee. In this case, Lee's attitude and behavior has been ongoing since the 1990s, and she has been convicted numerous times for incidents that impacts greatly on residents, Baker said. She has persistently shown no consideration at all for the actions her offending has had on others, the officer added. There comes a point when you have to say enough is enough and take additional action to protect the community and business in the area. But what is the additional action? Because if she wasn't supposed to be doing it anyway, if it was okay for her to do it, then why is it a problem? If she's not supposed to be doing it, then why'd you let it go on for 25 years and then suddenly say no more pooping? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Kick her out of the community, I guess. I don't know what the answer is, and I frankly don't give a shit because this is just a fun story.
Pun intended.
Speaking of shits, where's this? Okay, speaking of shits, if you are feeling like joyful that Cuomo has been kicked out of office, you can buy this shirt. I hate New York, or I upside down heart taking a shit with a mask on and getting an injection and holding a passport and an American flag and squinting in pain as he wears a mask. Shirt at thesystemisdown.tv.
At the end, should have been the Twin Towers.
Oh.
Should have asked me, man.
Well, that doesn't really apply to this scenario because this shirt is not here to say 9/11 was an inside job exactly. That's not really what I was going for, but...
Well, that's the way I was thinking.
So, no, it's in response to the deplorable depravity that is the leadership of New York as of late. But we are over 2 hours now, which is much longer than I intended to, and I planned on going through this stuff much more quickly. But you know how it is. Travis knows how it is, and everybody listening knows how it is. Travis, would you like to... Oh, the password. What's the password? We forgot it last week, and I did have somebody reach out to me say, where the fuck's the password, bro?
I chose Dandelion.
Dandelion?
Because of the dude's name. You said Dandelion.
Your passwords are all so boring, man. We talked about like abortion and rape and poop bombers, and you come up with Dandelion.
Fuck you.
Travis finally has an opinion and something to say. Nah, it's dumb.
Hey, someone laughed at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, somebody made it this far. So Shannon, if you would like to come up with our password, you can post it here in the comments.
There you go. That's a good idea.
If it sucks, I will give you the same treatment I just gave Travis. Shannon, what's the password? I'm going to say, let's see, what have we talked about? We talked about the dangerous meme and the coming lawsuit. That is definitely going to happen. I have 180 notifications on Twitter right now. Cool. We talked about the Obama variant. We could just make it Obama variant because that's a catchy name to begin with.
It's in the title, though.
While we wait for her to come up with something, unless she's already stopped listening because she thought we were done here, let's watch this video of Lindsey Graham and get his take on COVID as of late. Do you know who Lindsey Graham is, Travis?
I don't. I'm sorry.
I think he's a former senator. I don't think he's a senator. Oh, he is. Senator Lindsey Graham. Yeah, I guess he's still a senator. So, yeah, he's just a wishy-washy kind of piece of shit scumbag senator.
Oh, like all the senators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you back. Good to be back. Thank you for the inquiries about my well-being to all my colleagues. I appreciate the good
he just had
wishes and
COVID.
the phone calls and the food, and I made it. I think the worst is behind me. I want to reinforce a simple message. If you haven't been vaccinated regarding the COVID problem, you need to get vaccinated. I've been vaccinated, and
he has been
got
vaccinated
COVID anyway.
And he got COVID anyway.
Really bad days,
and he's
but,
here to tell
I'm
you
doing
the vaccine works.
Oh, she doesn't know.
Why is it so hard? Exactly. When you're put on the spot, it's impossible. So we're going with Obama variant for that. But I've seen a lot of this. Blaming anti-vaxxers that your vaccine doesn't work. If your vaccine works, then I'm of no threat. If your vaccine doesn't work, then there's no reason for me to take the vaccine. And we're going to leave it on that. We don't need to listen to the whole Lindsey Graham thing, but this mentality of it's your fault no matter what, and you have to get this, even if it's starting to look like it doesn't really help all that much.
Face. Like, why would you even put that? Like, if you're all for the vaccine, why in the hell would you go up there and say, "Hey, I've been sick and I've been vaccinated, but you need to get vaccinated"? What's the point?
I have no idea. Oh, I did have something else that I wanted to share here. I know I keep saying
he's alive. I guess he's alive and didn't die.
He is alive.
So, I mean,
you may or may not see that as a positive or negative. I don't know, but he is alive at the moment, and he survived the most deadly virus in American history, and he said that it was very mild because he got the vaccine. Guess what? I didn't get the vaccine. Or wait, I did. I'm joking. This next part is a joke. I totally got the vaccine, but if I didn't get the vaccine, hypothetically, wink, wink, I had COVID, we'll say, wink, wink, and it wasn't that bad. Sounds like it was about the same as what Lindsey Graham said. Yes. So and that's not to say that it's not bad for some people, because I have friends that are getting out of the emergency room as we speak because of COVID. It is it is a problem. And people should take it seriously, but that doesn't mean live in paranoia. And these people that I'm friends with aren't living in paranoia anyway. They did what needed to be done, took care of it, and now they're going back home. So that's good. I did want to share this because this popped up recently. Speaking of gaslighting, consider the vaccine. It's the only way to get back freedom and have less fear.
What?
The vaccine is the way to have less fear. Now, if you look around at the general population, who do you think's more fearful right now? Is it the vaccinated or the unvaccinated?
Well, I would suppose the vaccinated, because you're getting vaccinated and people are still getting sick.
Yep.
And I guess you're getting, I guess they say, I actually had an argument with News Channel 6. They posted something about how they're, I think I said this last week, making all healthcare systems requirement to get vaccinated, and I posted something on there saying, this is just a start, blah, 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 and I got attacked by a few people.
Yeah.
All their things were saying, well, the vaccine's not supposed to stop you from getting it.
Look at Travis. He's been on the show for like 2 months. He's already stirring up shit on Facebook. Good job.
But like they're saying mostly if you get vaccinated, you're supposed to have a more mild case of COVID, and you're supposed to survive it. But
yeah.
Okay.
But you know what's happening with most people that don't get the vaccine? They're getting it. Sometimes it's pretty mild, and usually they're surviving it. Most of the time they're surviving it, and a lot of the times it's mild. In my case, it was mild. So would I have benefited from getting the vaccine? I don't think there's enough evidence to say definitively yes or no.
You probably have a lifetime side effects for the rest of your life by getting it. Who knows?
Well, I am severely autistic because of the vaccines I got as a child, but it's come to my defense. It's come to my aid in being able to... It's just funny that the government pushes for everybody to get vaccinated. It gives them autism, and then it makes them into these autistic monsters who hate the government. So it's kind of backfiring on them. It's kind of beautiful autistic army.
Beautiful autistic army.
Yes. Anyway, that's that. So, guys, I'm not giving you medical advice, but definitely get the shot so you can stop living in fear, obviously, because it's the people who are just living their normal lives. They're the ones living in fear, right? Travis got into an argument. LOL. Yeah. I am curious to see how many words you used.
I'm more better with my hands than my mouth.
More better with my hands than my mouth.
Did you get what I did?
That's what she said. Anyway, that seems like a good place to end. The password, what did she say it was? That's the password. Pansies.
Pansies.
Pansies is her password.
That'll work. Graham is a pansy.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham is a pansy. It's just not strong enough. How about twat waffle? Would you like me to use it in a sentence? Lindsey Graham is a twat waffle. Whatever. Any of these things that have been said, letting me know that you made it to the end of the episode is good enough for me to let us know that you want this to keep being as long and ridiculously drawn out as this is. Otherwise, we will start cutting it back. We should start cutting it back anyway because most people don't listen to the song. It's just an experiment to see how many of you are dedicated enough or have little enough of a life to listen this long. But Travis, thank you so much for being here, Travis.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having me on here.
Filling your head with all sorts of crazy conspiracies that will get you in trouble and kicked off of Facebook any day now.
It's fun.
any final thoughts before we leave?
Wow, this is a good show. Is that what you call it? A show?
It's episode. A show, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good show. I like the...
Good show, sir.
Good show. No,
jolly good show.
Good time, good time.
Righto. Isn't it?
Cheerio.
All right, if that's all you have to say, then plug your shit.
Yes, if you would like to get a hold of me, I do actually know how to do some things other than arguments and talk about politics. I do know
other than listen to Dan talk about politics.
If you would like to get a hold of me and do anything like that, you can hit me up on Facebook.com/Engineer Travis Harms. That is my personal studio, or I do work for a company co-owner of. It's called Charm Media Group, and you can hit me up there at charmmediagroup.com.
Yes. And I did have something to say about that.
The thing that we might want to do, maybe
what?
How you talked about sending me that track. And
no. Okay,
not
that yet. No.
Okay. Can't let that go.
Before that gets any further, let's get out of here. All right, guys, thank you for listening for way too long on your beautiful Wednesday afternoon now. Thank you for giving us your time. And if you would like the after party, which we're going to do right now, we're going to keep this party going and talk about some more uncomfortable shit over in the Downers Club. If you would like to join the Downers Club and get that, you can do so by going to patreon.com/thesystemisdown and signing up for the $5 level or higher. That's it, just $5 a month. That's like a cup of coffee a month. You pay more for that. You pay more.
It's a Starbucks coffee a month. Just make sure.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. I mean, even like Caribou Coffee and like some of the smaller chains, it's still about $5-6. At Starbucks, it's probably more like $6-7 depending on where you live. But you spend more. You personally, probably. I'm totally making this up. You personally spend more on children having their scalps ripped off and sewn onto lab rats than it costs to listen to the after party. So use your money wisely. You decide what you want to support. This is a dichotomy. There's two options. This is a binary choice here. If you don't come support the Downers Club, more children will have their scalps peeled back and sewn onto lab rats. Do you think that's a good way to end the show?
If you want that to happen, just don't pay anything.
Yeah, it's up to you, man. It's your fault. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it very much. And I'm trying to think if we have any announcements, anything coming up. I don't think so. Travis is going to be gone the next couple weeks.
I sure am. I'm going to be on vacation. Enjoying the world, I guess I could say.
Enjoying vacation.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that many words. No, where are you going? Where are you going for vacation, Travis?
Planning on going to Nashville, and then Gatlinburg, and then wherever I go. I don't really care. I'm kind of just going.
Yeah, you going alone, or you taking your lady with you?
I'm taking my lady.
Nice, cool. Well, yeah, we'll probably have a guest host, and you guys might have some guesses as to who that guest might be, and I might have already talked to him, and he might have agreed to it.
Perfect.
I've got a hair in my mouth. So, yeah. Stay tuned. You know who it probably is if you've listened to the show for any amount of time. But thank you again for the last time for listening. Thank you for supporting, especially those of you in the Downers Club. And come join if you're not in there at thesystemisdown.tv. You can sign up, or at patreon.com/thesystemisdown. You can get all the stuff there. Please continue questioning everything, staying uncomfortable, and speaking truth, because the more people that speak truth, like Rand Paul and Joe Rogan and myself and Travis when Channel 6 pisses him off, the better, and the sooner this bullshit goes away. But, yeah. Question everything, stay uncomfortable. We'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.